we have discussed in the previous class, we have been discussing about the underdamped condition, and we found that this underdamped case when zeta is equal to 0, and we also undamped condition zeta is equal to 0. We have also seen the underdamped case for C of t, and all these things are completed. Now we have to understand about the critically damped case, and where we have to see the critically damped case where the equation is C of S by R of S is equal to omega n square by denominator, and zeta is equal to 0, so it's equal to 1. And we have found that by taking the inverse Laplace transform, C of t can be 1 minus e to the power of minus omega n t into 1 plus omega n t. So, so we are going to get the equation in, means the signal in this form. So that is called as the unit step response. So further, this all these things we have been discussing in the previous class. So we will now further on we'll focus upon the overdamped case. So in the overdamped case, we are going to take zeta greater than 1. So this is the overdamped case where you're going to take the condition zeta greater than 1. So the system is said to be overdamped. The closed loop poles are real and unequal, and zeta is greater than 1. So the denominator equating to 0 gives closed loop poles. So we can just write these equations for overdamped case. When they simplify, you don't need the derivation for this. So C of t, when you calculate, you will get 1 plus omega n by root 2 root of zeta square minus 1 e to the power of minus s1 t by s1 minus e to the power of minus s1 s2 t by s2. So equations for s1 and s2 is this one. So you can just note down these things. For us, underdamped, undamped, overdamped, all these conditions are related to the second order response, and this is for the step response of second order system. So you can just write down these things. So when zeta is greater than 1, you call that as the overdamped condition, and this is the equation. We are not going to go with the derivation for this equation, straightforward equation with S1 and S2 parameters. So you can just note down these things. So have you completed that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have been studying about underdamped, undamped, critically damped, and all those things overdamped. So this is all based on the value of zeta. So we will further continue that. So if all of you have completed these equations, we will move on to the next portion of that. So just some more time if someone has not completed. Okay, so these are the equations which we get for the overdamped case, and we know that the overdamped case is zeta greater than 0, and we get the equation C of t here. So we are just moving further. So this is the response what we are going to get. You can see that this is the value C of infinity will be equal to 1, and how the response will be going is slightly deeper you have to draw, and then it goes further on. So to be constant. So that is what you will get when the system is overdamped step response. So you can draw this figure. After that, we will move on to the time response specifications. It's very, very important topic. So before that, you just complete that figure. So this is what you can see. You need to draw a little deeper, and then it moves on, goes to the constant value. So C of infinity is 1 here when it reaches towards the time goes towards infinity. So this is called as the overdamped step response. Equation we have already seen before. So we will just, I think all of you might have completed that figure. So we will see that time response specification. So here we'll be studying about rise time, fall time, overshoot, all those things. So this is we are going to discuss about the time response specification for second order system. So this is important topic, time response specification. We'll be studying few equations for time response, that is TR, TP, then settling time, TS, and we will have overshoot MP. All these things we'll be studying. So I will just explain you all these things, and then we will proceed further. So all of you can just listen here. So time response specification, we will be going with respect to second order system. So as we have already discussed before, you know that the response starts from 0, and then it will be between these positions, and then it settles down and it goes as constant further on. So you have also studied in first order system that the response going till 90 degree means 90% of 90% of the final value and all those things. So we have specifically drawn a few things like 90%. Here it is 98%. So you can see that this is the 2% margin which you can see here. This is 2% margin between this the wave getting settled down. So this complete thing is called as the overshoot, and it is this portion it is called as overshoot, where the signal is getting peak beyond the point. Okay, so this it is denoted as MP. So we'll be having a few things to study here, that is called as the rise time, then we have the settling time, and all those things. So these are and we also have some notations like ESS. ESS is called as the error, and all these equations corresponding to that we'll be studying in detail. So you can just draw this figure. This figure is very important, and you'll be studying each term in detail. So here what you have to understand is the percentage of 90% or 98%, that 2% region where it goes towards the stability and all those things. So all of you can just draw this figure, and then we will continue further. So the time response specification of second order system. So we have to study each things in detail, equation for rise time, settling time, overshoot, and all those things. So we'll be discussing that one by one. First, we'll discuss about the rise time. It is TR. So before that, you can just draw this figure. Draw this figure properly. this all terms are there, no, 90 per, 0.9. So it has to be at 0.9. This is maximum value 1. So this is the maximum value. This is 90 percent, means 0.9, and this is 98%, 0.98. So these values where you draw these points, you should be careful. So draw as it is, how I have shown here. So once you complete it, just let me know that we'll continue further. So all of you have completed this figure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if someone is drawing it, draw it fast. So what you can understand is the second order system will be starting from here 0, and it will be going towards the stable state, and you can see that it will be focusing within that 2.2 0.02 percentage of the final value, and you can see that it finally settles down to that 1 maximum peak. So we will just, I think you might have completed, means we will proceed further. See, all of you have completed. Have you all
Yes, sir.
completed? Okay. So we can see that now we are going to study about the rise time. It is denoted as TR. So this is the notation for that rise time TR. So we are going to see first the rise time, and then rest of the things we'll see. So as you can see that the TR, it is being mentioned here, and this is this is TR1. So from here to here, so it is clearly written that from 10% to this one, from 10% to 90%. So you can see that from 10% to 90%, this is mentioned as TR. So we'll see what is the equations for that. So the various time domain specifications are, the first one is rise time. It is denoted as TR1 and TR. So the time taken by the response to rise from 10% of the final value to 90% of the final value. This is called as TR1. So this is very important. The time taken for the response to rise from 10% of the final value to 90% of the final value. This is called as TR1. And the exact analytical expression for TR1 is difficult, and to obtain this TR1 can be found using this equation. So we are directly writing these equations. We are not deriving anything here. So this rise time is called as TR1, and the main thing what you have to understand is the time taken by the response to rise from 10% of the final value to 90% of the final value. That is what you can see here. So from here, this point till this point, 90% of the final value. So that time is called as the rise time, and we have the equation for TR1 for second order system is 1 minus 0.04167 zeta plus 2.917 zeta squared by omega n. So 0 less than zeta less than 1. So we will try to simplify this further. So expression for which I have already told you that we have to just remember the expression for underdamped second order system, which we have already studied in the previous class for C of t. So that equation you need to use it here and use for further simplification, and we will see how the equation will be there for TR. So this is a derived equation for TR1. You are not going with the derivation for TR1. So you can just see that it is 1 minus 0.4167 zeta plus 2.917 zeta square by omega n. So whatever equation you have already derived for underdamped second order system, you can use it here. So I will just show you where we have in the previous class, we have already derived the equation for or the expression for C of t for an underdamped second order system. So we are going to use that equation, and we'll be further simplifying it for rise time. So all of you note down these things. What you have to understand here is the time taken for the response to uh, rise from 10% of the final value to 90% of the final value. So we have written the equation for C of t from the previous derivation what we have derived for underdamped second order system. So you can just refer to that equation and you can write that equation for C of t is 1 minus e to the power of minus zeta omega n t by root of 1 minus zeta squared sine of omega n root of 1 minus zeta squared t plus phi, t greater than or equal to 0. So you can see that in the previous class we have studied the same equation. So you had derived this equation for C of t. The same equation we are using it here. I told you need to you'll be using all these equations further. So the same equation we'll be using for C of t here. 1 minus e to the power of minus zeta omega nt divided by root of 1 minus zeta square sine omega n root of 1 minus zeta square t plus phi. So these equations you need to remember. Uh, See if sometimes you may have to derive the equation for C of t for underdamped second order system. But if they ask you to explain the rise time and explain the um, rise time of the system of a second order system, or they ask you to find the time response specifications of the system, then you have to just remember these equations for uh, completing this derivation. So you need to remember this equation for C of t. You have to study this equation for C of t so that you can do it further. So here in that same derivation, we have also studied what is phi. So if I go back to that same derivation, you can see that in the previous derivation, we have studied what is phi. So what is phi is tan inverse of b by is tan inverse of a by b, and we have seen tan inverse of root of. So same thing, I'm going to use it here as well. So you can see that phi is tan inverse of root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. So you should study along with whenever I take in the classes. So it will be easy for you to understand. So please make sure that all of you study till here whatever I have taught you in third module, so that it will be clear for you. If you have any doubts, you can discuss with me as well. So phi we have already derived the equation for C of t. We have already derived the means we have already the phi value when t is equal to tr, so we are taking t equal to tr, c of t is equal to 1. So that is what we can see here. When t is equal to tr, so these things are same, then it will be equal to maximum value 1. So that is what you have here. So we are going to use this things. We are going to put substitute t as tr, and so we are going to see that how this equation is going to be modified further. So wherever t is there, you substitute as tr, you get this equation, and c of t is equal to 1. So substitute for c of t as 1. So I have put 1 is equal to 1 minus. So I think you are still writing it down. You can just write down, then I will further explain it for you. So once you complete it, then you can just concentrate and understand these things. I'll explain it once again from the expression for TR. You can complete this. See, I am asking you to write down these equations in the class itself because you need to practice these equations. You need to understand the derivation. You have to see how the equations have been substituted. So it is not enough if you just take the notes later on. So it's always important when we do the problems or derivations, you should write it along with the class itself. So it gives more clarity for you. So you can see that if later on you want to just understand that where this equation has come all about, so you can just specify that it has been taken from the derivation of underdamped second order system. So so it is taken from the underdamped second order system, where you can see that you'll get the entire equation as it is available in the previous derivation. So phi also you got tan inverse of root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. So once you complete these two equations of C of t and psi, we'll continue further. Have you completed the equation? Have you completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So let us continue further. I will just explain it from the expressions of for TR. So what you have to see is you have the equation for C of t as 1 minus this one, which is taken from the previous derivation, whatever we have studied. I have also shown you that from where we have taken that equation. So from here, for the equation for C of t, we have used that equation and we have simplified it further. So this is the equation we have used there, and we will be using that equation to solve it further for TR and T. Uh, Phi is also tan inverse of root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta is also derived there, explained there. So we are here going to put t is equal to tr and c of t is equal to 1. So let us substitute that for c of t as 1, and then we'll move on with wherever t is there, you need to substitute as tr. So that is what you will get this equation. And further, we have taken the terms together this side, and that equals to 0 here. So from this we can understand that since this term, if you do like this term cannot be 0. So this term cannot be equal to 0. So that is what you can see. So we have written e to the power of zeta minus e to the power of minus zeta omega n tr divided by root of 1 minus zeta square cannot be 0. So this term has to be 0. So we are going to solve it. Sine of omega n root of 1 minus zeta square tr plus phi should be equal to 0, because this term cannot be equal to 0. So when a sine of an angle will be equal to 0, the sine of an angle will be always equal to 0 when it is multiples of n pi, or it is n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So sine of an angle is always 0 when the it is multiples of n pi. So we can write omega n root of 1 minus zeta square tr plus phi is equal to n pi. So that is what we are going to get it till here. So till here, it's clear for everyone. Is it clear for all of you? Omega
Yes,
n
sir.
root of, okay, thank you. So omega n root of 1 minus zeta square tr plus phi can be written as n pi, because sine of an angle will be equal to 0 when it equal to 0 means this angle should be multiple of n pi. So n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So let us have the value of n is equal to 1, since uh, interested in first attempt by C of t to reach the steady state value. So we have just substituted n is equal to 1. So we get omega n root of 1 minus zeta square tr plus phi is equal to pi. So you can complete it till there, and then we'll continue to simplify it further. So you should understand everything in the class itself. If you have any doubts, you can discuss now itself, so that we can just I can explain you once again anything is required. So here in this module, you might have observed that it's the matter of just uh, rearranging the equations and understanding the time constants, then what is the steady state value for each thing. So all those things, it's very easy for you to understand once you do it in a sheet of paper and try solving this derivation one or two times. Okay. Some critical equations you need to study, like C of t, equation for C of t and equation for phi. All these things you should know and you should remember. So when we are taking the value of n is equal to 1, you get the equation as omega n root of 1 minus zeta square tr is plus phi is equal to pi, and finally you will get tr is equal to this term, tr is equal to pi minus phi divided by omega n root of 1 minus zeta square. This is what the equation you will get for tr. So it's the equation what you have to remember for the equation for TR for solving the problems. We'll be doing some problems on TR, that is rise time. So this is what we have studied. We have used the equation for C of t and simplified for the equated sine of angle equal to 0, and we know that the angle will sine of an angle will be 0 only when it is a multiple of n pi, and we have from that we have simplified, and we derive the equation for tr. So tr is called as a rise time, and we get the equation as pi minus phi divided by omega n root of 1 minus zeta square. You know that phi can be written as tan inverse of root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. So those things you should know when you are solving any numericals. So all those things will be required for you, and substitute and find out the value for tr. Okay. So this is very simple to understand all these things. So is that completed? You have all completed the equation for TR. You put the equation for TR in square brackets. That is pi minus phi divided by omega and root of 1 minus zeta square. Here what you have to understand here is you need to remember the equation for C of t, what we have derived in the previous derivation for the underdamped second order system, and then further on you need to also remember the equation for phi, and then take it substitute C of t is equal to 1 and t is equal to tr, take the terms together this side and you get it equal to 0. So e to the power of minus e to the power of that term cannot be equal to 0, and so you have to say that sine of the angle should be equal to 0. So you have equated to n pi, and you finally simplified the equation. You got tr is equal to pi minus phi divided by omega and root of 1 minus zeta square. It's clear for everyone? Is that clear
Yes,
for
sir.
all? Okay. So all of you have completed till tr, right? We'll move further.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So so we got that equation. Then we'll see rest of the things as well. So next concept what we are going to study is peak time. So it is represented, peak time is represented as TP. So you just go back to the figure and see where is TP. So this is what TP is. This is called as the peak time. Means the response reaching to its maximum peak. Okay. So we'll see that with some equations. So just write down second one. What you will get in university question papers or internal question paper is that explain the time response specifications for second order system. So you need to just see that it may be there for 10 marks. So time response specification for second order system for 10 marks means you need to write each thing: rise time, peak time, then further you will be studying settling time. All those things you will be studying: maximum overshoot, MP, you will be studying peak overshoot or maximum overshoot, settling time. All these things we will be studying further. So everything you have to write it for the time response specification for second order system, or they may give one problem to find out all these things like rise time, peak time, settling time, maximum overshoot, and all those things. Anything can be asked, but it is usually an important question. So here what is meant by peak time is represented as TP, and the time taken to reach the first or the maximum overshoot or maximum peak, the step response of second order system. So we'll see the same equations. You can see here I have used the same equation which I have derived in the previous derivation. So it is C of t is equal to 1. So you need to study this equation because you cannot derive this equation in the examination. You will not be able to spend so much of time deriving this. So you need to study this equation so that you can use for further explanation of peak time, settling time, and all those things. So C of t is equal to 1 minus e to the power of this equation we have taken. So where phi is equal to tan inverse of uh, 1 minus root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. So both the equations we have used. So just complete it. So both same equations we have used for the, so study this equation for C of t and phi. So you have completed both the equations of C of t and phi. I'll explain you the equation for peak time, and it is represented as Tp. So the peak time is obtained by differentiating C of t. You need to differentiate the equation C of t. So this equation you need to differentiate it. C of t is equal to 1 minus this equation with respect to time, and letting this derivative equal to 0. So we have to find d C of t by dt, and we have to put for t is equal to Tp, that will be equal to 0. So when you differentiate the equation for C of t, dC of t by dt, you will end up in this way. That is 0 minus e to the power of minus zeta omega n Tp. So I have one more thing. I have replaced this t as Tp. Okay, it is changed as t as Tp. So I have to write wherever t is there, I have to replace it as Tp. So what I'm going to get e to the power of minus zeta omega n Tp divided by root of 1 minus zeta square. I'm differentiating it. Differentiation of sign you have to do. So you'll get cos of omega n root of 1 minus zeta square Tp. In place of t, I have to replace it as Tp. So plus phi multiplied by omega n root of 1 minus zeta square. This is what you get when you differentiate, that is dC of t by dt. By replacing wherever t is there, you have to replace as Tp, and you have to equate that is equal to 0. So dC of t by dt is equal to 0. So this equation will be equal to 0. Here we are going to find out the peak time. So to obtain the peak time, you have to differentiate the equation of C of t with respect to dt and equate to 0. So all of you have differentiated the equation. Have you all differentiated the equation for C of t?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us simplify it further. So you, after differentiating, you will equate to 0 and simplify it further to find out the equation for TP. So that is what we'll get this thing. I think the second part of the differentiation also you might have done it. So it will be 0 minus e to the power of minus zeta omega and Tp divided by root of 1 minus zeta square cos omega and root of 1 minus zeta square Tp plus phi into omega and root of 1 minus zeta square. That is one term, plus you will be getting sine of omega n root of 1 minus zeta square Tp plus phi into e to the power of e minus zeta omega n Tp by root of 1 minus zeta square into 1 minus zeta omega n, that is equal to 0. I think all of you might have differentiated it. All of you got the same equation? Have you completed the differentiation and you got the same equation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we will just continue this further. Our main focus is to find out TP. So let us see that this can be simplified. You can just simplify that which all terms are common. You can cancel it out and then you can simplify it. So whether you are going to get in this form minus of root of 1 minus zeta square cos omega and root of 1 minus zeta square Tp plus phi plus sine plus zeta will be there, zeta sine omega and root of 1 minus zeta square Tp plus phi is equal to 0. You try to find out the equation number 1, solve it and complete that equation 1. You can simplify it to get equation number 1. So I have written implies to, so you can see that how this equation 1 has been derived. So you will get minus root of 1 minus zeta square. So what all things are common in both the terms, e to the power of minus zeta omega and Tp and omega n and divided by root of 1 minus zeta square. So if you take it outside, you can see that rest of the terms are there here. So have you all got the equation number 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about others? All of you got? See, have you all got equation number 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are clear till here. So all of you have completed till the equation number 1, and then we will continue further. So the damping ratio, when you put it in the form of triangle, you have drawn this triangle before as well in this derivation for second order system here. That is zeta, theta, zeta, root of 1 minus zeta square and 1. So same thing. theta zeta and root of 1 minus zeta square. So you can use this damping ratio triangle when you take. You have written this equation that sine, from this you can write sine phi as well as cos phi. From this triangle you can write sine phi and cos phi. You get sine phi is equal to root of 1 minus zeta square and cos phi is equal to zeta. All of you got second and third equation? It's very simple. So all of you got sine phi and cos phi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then substitute equation 2 and equation 3 in equation 1. So wherever root of 1 minus zeta square means sine phi will be equal to root of 1 minus zeta square, you can substitute equation 2 and equation 3 in equation 1. So that is what you can do here. Root of 1 minus zeta square, you can replace it by sine of phi and do it. Zeta, you can replace it by cos phi. So you can just substitute these two things. So these two equations you can substitute here. Okay, it's almost time now. We will do further rest of the things in the next class. Okay, we will stop it here in this in this portion, substitution of equation 2 and 3 in equation 1, and we'll continue further. Okay, thank you all. Today we will stop the class here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll continue it further from here on next class. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.